All right, I'm talking today about liking yourself and why it matters. And this is a subject that is really close to my heart because I struggled for many years with this whole notion of liking yourself, with this perceived idea that the only reason I was successful or I got shit done was because I was so hard on myself, and that's where everything came from. And I'm just calling bullshit on that. So I'm talking about liking yourself, why it matters, and then I want to give you a couple of just like super basic things, 3 things to work with if you're interested, because this is a really important subject, but it's hard. So I want to make it as accessible for you as possible. I do an exercise with my clients. Let's do it together. Like, close your eyes, take a couple of breaths, get yourself centered, and just imagine that you can copy paste yourself. Fully fledged you version is next to you. You're sitting on the couch, you're about to have dinner together. Like, how did it feel to sit and spend an evening with yourself? If you're anything like my clients, it probably wasn't the cheeriest thoughts that came up. And I find that fascinating. The thought of spending time with yourself, sitting down, having a chit chat, having a cup of tea, glass of wine, whatever it is, people are not into it. My clients are often so horrified. They kind of death stare me with that exercise. I'm biased, but I think my clients are just incredible people. Super smart, really successful, interesting, wonderful people. And more often than not, they don't actually like themselves. And I think that's a problem. And I'm not trying to shame, I'm not trying to judge, I'm not trying to diss. I'm just trying to build awareness that this is something I see so often. People just not liking themselves. And I don't think that that is okay. My whole approach to coaching is to help people live vibrantly. And that's about reveling in who you truly are. And how can you do that if you don't like who you are? This is an invitation to start that journey of liking yourself, of just being able to sit and spend time in your brain and enjoy it and be curious about it rather than trying to bitch slap everything down. Think about how you talk to yourself in the last hour. Did you call yourself lazy? Did you call yourself some variation of a fuckhead? Did you kind of bully yourself into like doing that thing? How did you speak to yourself in the past hour? Was it nice? Was it kind? And then think about how you spoke to yourself in the past day. Again, was it nice? Was it kind? Was it nurturing? Did you really want to respond well to that? And just think about the last time you were really nice to yourself. And if it's hard to come by, then I think there's some work to do. And I would love for you to do it. Doors start to open when we like ourselves. It tends to become much easier to work within and on ourselves in a way that is actually productive and is efficient and actually gets results. And again, not here to judge, not here to shame, not here to diss. I appreciate how hard this is. Like, I, for many years, did not like myself. I couldn't even look in the mirror. I disliked myself so much. Just everything I saw reminded me of how gross and icky I felt inside. And that's just not a good way to be. And I got a wake-up call years ago, well, not years ago, 7 or so years ago, and I was living in Lusaka in Zambia, and it's a pretty small city. Not a huge amount to do. It's kind of a make your own fun kind of place. And that was fine because the first year I was there, I was with my ex-boyfriend. I was running a company, getting it off the ground, and worked 90 plus hours. And then I broke up with the boyfriend. The business started really taking off, so there was actually less work for me to do because suddenly I had a team and I didn't really want to we worked together, I didn't really want to spend a lot of time in the office. And so for the first time in years, I kind of had more time to just be with myself. And I absolutely hated it. I hated it. I just thought, why would I want to do this? And that really scared me. And when I get scared, I tend to get curious about what's actually going on. And that's when I started this whole journey of, well, how do I like myself? How do I enjoy spending time with myself? And it was that got me curious about who I was and why I did certain things and how I wanted to change things up and actually what I wanted, and all these questions that led me to being a coach and led me to being such a powerful coach for my clients. And so liking yourself really is the underpinning of so much of the work that we do, and I just want to advocate for you to start that journey. If you're at all curious, please. And I have 3 just really simple things to do to get you going, and I'd love to share those with you, and I really hope that these are helpful to you. As always, just DM me if you want a little more support on this or you have some questions. Like, I'm here to serve. I love helping people. I love offering things up. But 3 things. 1 is decide that you're going to like yourself and just do it. And I get it. That makes it sound like it's just you flip a switch and it's done. It's not quite as simple as that, but sometimes you just need to decide that you're going to do something and start. So just decide. Say, I'm just deciding that I'm going to like myself. So that's number 1. Number 2, see if you can respond to yourself with curiosity rather than criticism. The next time you catch yourself being like, oh, you shithead, I can't believe you did that. Oh, you're so annoying, which I catch myself doing. Then instead, how else could I have done this? You know, what's another way? What about this is hard for me right now? Like, curiosity. And number 3 is just mind your words. Be careful about what you say. Be careful how you talk to yourself. And if all else fails, go back to what your mum said. You know, would you speak to a friend like that? Would you? Probably not. So don't speak to yourself like that. So just 3 simple ways. Decide you're going to like yourself and start. 2, respond with curiosity rather than criticism when something comes up. And 3, be careful with your words because they really do matter. That's it. 3 really simple things to get you going, find your own pathway. If you're interested in this work, and I really hope that you are because this stuff is powerful, DM me. I have a ton of resources. My 5-day curiosity challenge, which I really love and people are getting such good results with. There's one specific day of the challenge that is all about liking yourself, so it's really cool. And talk to me about my group program. It's really fun, and at heart it's about living vibrantly, which is about reveling in who you truly are, which starts with liking yourself. So I hope you enjoy it. Please just start that conversation and start liking yourself because it's so much better. All right, bye.